Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to you if this is your first time. For today's project, you can just grab a piece of 1 6-foot 2x4, or if you've got scraps like I have here, you can just use those. I'm using all scraps and I'm just taking off the terrible portions of the wood, and then we're going to start the project. So I'm going to start with these 3 boards. I eventually had to pick one more piece because I made a mistake along the way, but you will see as we go on. However, you can use half of an 8-foot board to complete all 3 projects. So project 1 is a rustic key holder, which has just 2 cuts that you will make on the table saw. So we'll start off with setting the table saw blade to 15 degrees. Next, I set the blade height to 1 inch, and then I made the cuts at that angle. As far as the spacing of the cuts, 1 inch to 1 3/8 inches spacing will do just fine. Here's what the first cut looks like.
At this point, I want to quickly remind you that all you need is a little bit of faith and some action.
And here's what it should look like with the 2 cuts done. Since I still have the blade at the 15-degree angle, I just lifted the blade up a little bit above the 1.5 inch, and then I made cuts on both sides of the board so they don't have straight edges. They'll have like a mitered edge on both sides. Still on the table saw, we'll jump into the next project, and then we'll make the first cut from one edge of the board with the blade at 1/2 inch height, and then the second one was at 1 inch height. And then you just repeat that on another piece of board. I used about 1 inch long piece of board. So if you're going to make 4 of this, depending on how much you're going to make, you can make it in multiples of 6 inches long. I added a bevel to one side of the long edges just to solve for an error that I caused in the process of making this too quickly. You'll see that shortly. This is the part on the second piece where I got carried away and made another angle cut that I did not need, but to solve for that, I'm making that same beveled cut on this piece, and then I'm just cleaning up the edges. With the rib cuts done for those, I went over to the miter cut and made some cross cuts to the length that I wanted this to be, which is 6 inches on each one of them. So I'll end up with 4 pieces. For the third project, we're back on the table saw. We're going to make a glasses holder. We're going to make 2 pieces of those. The blade height is set to 3¼ inches. We're using the same 15-degree angle, and then we're basically going to make a dado. And that dado will be just a bit shy of 1/4 inches from the edge, and then we'll make the dado at a height of 3/4 inches. With a space between 1/4 inches to 3/8 inches, depending on the size of glasses that you're kidding for. But 3/8 inches is wide enough to hold the glasses handles. And then we're basically going to repeat that by creating another dado, and then later on I'll cut off the edge of that board at the 1/4 inch mark, and then we'll do the rest of it later on. If you've not already done so, this will be a good time to subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Then on the miter saw, I set the bevel to 15 degrees, And then I made the cut so the base is at 2.5 inches wide and the top is 1 3/4 inches wide. For all three of these projects, I left them natural, but you can use your choice of stain and stain them to whatever color you would like them to be. Okay, that wraps it for this week's project. I hope you are inspired to build one or all three of these, and I hope you can build them even better than I did. Until next time, take care and God bless you, my friend. And as usual, I hope you will have a tangible experience of God's love today. And also remember to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new videos that I upload, and help me grow this channel. Thank you.